Merry Christmas, and Texas presents you with the gift. I should probably turn the light up, right? Because I'm kind of... Anyway, I present you with the best gift one could ask for. How you can average 26K in solo battle. Hey, if you need some Madden coins, be sure to check out GoBuyMMO.com. They are literally half off of the rest of the Madden competitors, so be sure to check them out. Link down in the description below. Use my code TEXAS for a 6% discount. We're going to show you guys how you can average 26K in solo battles fairly easy. Say goodbye to Wildcat because your boy Tex has been holding out for a while. I've been like not putting this out, but I figured now is the best time to do it because a lot of you guys actually still play that mode and would like to earn yourself a lot of coins. For those that are new to the game that want to get into it, this is going to be a good way to help you earn ultimate rewards as well to get at least 150K a week. So it's not that hard. So pretty much I'm gonna give you guys some new techniques that you guys should try to do to knock these solos out. Also, if you guys have not checked out my older video, how to average 25K every solo battle game, that one is very important to this as well. So go back and watch that video somewhere on the screen, click it, watch it, then combine that information with what I'm about to give you guys today and go ahead and earn yourself some coins. Also down in the description below, there's gonna be a full uncut raw full gameplay. It's gonna be unlisted, by the way, so you click the link, it'll take you to the gameplay so you guys can actually watch 45 minutes of me, or it's like 30 minutes actually, me playing solo battles trying to get this max score. And so it's pretty simple. I do every technique I'm gonna give you guys in this video in that, so you can watch it and practice it and hone it, perfect it, and get yourself a lot of coins, tokens, and packs. So here's a screen cap from that game. We got 13,000 points as our difficulty bonus, and to average 26K a game, you gotta have 13,000 as your game bonus because you times that by 2, 26 easy. You have to have at least 1,700 BTS and then 500 points to go ahead and combine that to get yourself the 13,000. And this is not nothing boosted, by the way. This is just a regular solo battle, as you guys can see by the game's complete, the game result, and then everything else combined is gonna equal out to that. So, and by the way, this game for me wasn't one of my better games. Solo battles is weird because I think I might have I think I know what you have to do, what you can't do, but there's been some games where I have had better stats and I just could not get over like 25-6. So if you follow what this guide right now, if you just get these stats, I guess this is what's gonna get you 26K a game. And so I'll show you exactly what I got. So this game, we ended up getting a total of only 280 rushing yards. Usually I try to get around 300. That's like my average. And then passing yards, you got 420. So a grand total, 700 total offensive yards, but you still need to get rushing yards, obviously, which I'll show you guys what I've been doing to get the rushing yards hella easy compared to what Wildcat is, which works occasionally and against higher overall teams. It's a little bit more tedious, obviously, to get those yards and you waste time and all that nonsense. So yeah, 280 rushing yards, 423 passing yards, only got 19 first downs. I want to have at least 20, but I still got 26K with 19. So that is pretty awesome. And then we're gonna go ahead and show you guys the completions that we got. So we have 2 quarterback system, because you guys will find out really soon why that is. We got Michael Vick with 21 completions, and we got Patrick Mahomes out here with 17. I'm in the Patriots playbook, by the way. I forgot to mention that off top. I'm in the Patriots playbook, not the Vikings playbook, not the running gun playbook. I'm in the Patriots playbook, and I have a 2 quarterback system out of, I guess you can call it level sail formation. I don't know the name of it. I guess you call it trips left, trips right, whatever the hell it is. Trips. I have Vic in that formation for a specific reason. And then out of gun split close, I have Mahomes because Vic can't throw across his body as accurately as I would like. The ball usually bounces off my running back's head and falls out of bounds. So if you guys have watched the previous video, you guys know exactly what 2 plays I'm talking about. It's gonna be the level sail play, and it's gonna be the halfback will. Throw the ball to the halfback over and over again, get those completions, which is why I have all these completions with these 2 quarterbacks in particular. So a total of 38 that game. And then this is where it gets kind of glitchy. Go to rushing. Let's go to rushing. Our leading rusher is our quarterback, Michael Vick. 7 rushes for 280 yards, 4 touchdowns. And you guys are like, yo, Tex, what? You're not using any Wildcat and you got Michael Vick out here with all these rushing yards. What are you doing exactly? And I'll show you guys what I'm doing exactly. So let's take a look I should probably be recording this in OBS, because I just realized I'm about to have to like do all this editing and like compile all this stuff together. My fault. Yo, go ahead and smack like on the button for that, because I'm about to be out here doing a lot of work. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just compile all this together so you guys can actually see. So right now, this is the run play that we use. This is what I've been using for the better part of probably 2 months. My man Nick, my man that actually plays solo battles for it. If you guys look for somebody to play solo battles for you, hit him up. But he put me on to this play. It's basically level cell. You put everybody to the right. If it's man coverage, you take off the quarterback. And then what ends up happening is you get a one-on-one with a safety or a cornerback or somebody else. And as long as your quarterback is fast enough, you can outrun the defense. And this works against every rating, every overall I've gone against. There's certain teams that are faster, obviously, so you gotta like maybe spin 2-3 guys out. But with the new Michael Vick that's out right now, the McNabb that exists, or Lamar Jackson, you can go get an expensive quarterback, get a budget quarterback. As long as you see man coverage, take off and go ahead and make that one guy miss and just run for the touchdown. Now, if it's not man coverage, and you could tell really easy whether or not it's man. So let's go back to this clip real quick. I'm gonna go back to this clip and pause it where it is gonna be man. So right here, you can tell it's man coverage when you see 3 cornerbacks on the same side of the field. Typically what ends up happening is they're gonna be 2 cornerbacks on the same side of the field, and the other one is gonna be on the right side. It's gonna only run this to the left, because it's kind of how it works. But yeah, usually man coverage, they give you, it's a dead giveaway. Either you got 3 cornerbacks lined up over your receivers. Occasionally they'll run double buzz where there's a linebacker lined up on them, and you can kind of see that early on. You can see if the play develops, oh, it's man coverage. But for the most part, it give it away so easy. So as long as you're paying attention, can observe what the CPU is doing, you can guess if it's man coverage and go ahead and get the rushing yards. Now, you're not gonna get man coverage every single time. That's where you gotta make a smart decision about what you need to do, because sometimes they'll give you cover 2, sometimes they'll give you cover 3, sometimes they'll give you cover 6, where there's gonna be a guy in a hard flat to where you can't throw the ball to McCaffrey or anybody else. So you just gotta hope that you get man. And if you don't, what I like to do is get rid of the ball as fast as possible, fall down, run out of bounds, or try to score a touchdown in that same play. So I only throw the ball to my halfback in this mode. My halfback and my tight end occasionally, but if I start seeing them come out in certain coverages where my halfback is not an option, I'll go to somebody else. But they really rarely guard that weird ass route to the outside there. All you really have to do is hope that you get man coverage at least 4 times. Because if you're doing like what everybody else is doing in solo battles, where you catch the ball on an interception or a punt and you run backwards to the 10-yard line, you only got to get this man coverage look 4 times a game, because 4 times 90 is what, a 360 rushing yards. So you don't even got to get it 4 times really. He's got to get it 3 times, get at least 280. So this is what I've been doing to get the rushing yards. So it's super easy. Like once you figure it out, the trick is though, you have to be patient, because you can't just roll out to the left and run, because what's going to happen is the defensive end's going to get a disengage. Speed sucks behind the line of scrimmage, right? So Michael Vick, even though he's a fast quarterback in Madden, he'll still get tracked down by guys like DeMarcus Lawrence, guys like Aaron Donald, guys like Clowney. Like, I know that they're fast, but like, I'm like, Vick's 90 something speed. Y'all shouldn't be catching them at all. So what you have to do is wait for, once the play develops, there's going to be a hole that you can run through. So you gotta wait for, really, it's all about patience, really. It's all about patience and just not panicking. So once you basically audible your circle receiver over to the right, or if you're already running level cell, they should be all running to the right anyway. But once you do that, there's gonna be potentially a gap that's gonna be available that you can escape out of. Sometimes the gap closes, you gotta pick a different one, but usually that gap is going to be there. At least for me, it's always been there for me, except for a couple of exceptions. So once that gap presents itself, just take off. Hit right trigger to get that quarterback scrambling mechanic, so you don't gotta hold it, and then press it, and then just hit it, and then once you get to the open field, press it to go ahead and run for the yard. So it's gonna take practice, bro. I would recommend you guys go into some solo challenges and try it out before you actually get out here and go online or go to solo battles and test it out. But it has worked for me I want to say 95% of the time. There's a few chances where you get caught from behind because a guy will dive and trip your feet up, or the hole closes, or your lineman gets in the way and you trip. But I have not had an issue getting the rushing yards since I went to this play. The Wildcat was fun and it was fine and it was easy for the most part up until you start playing higher overall teams and your players just wouldn't block, or the game would glitch and your receiver / running back wouldn't hand the ball off and you get tackled in the backfield, and all of a sudden you already wasted 30 seconds right there trying to get this play to work and you didn't throw the ball down the field anyway. So this is the most consistent run I have used, and this is the reason why I have been placing high in solo battles. Not as high as I have been because I always choke one game. I would be top 10 every single week if I did not choke one game. Like, it's a crazy how one game, 1,000 points can make a difference between finishing top 10 or top 50, because it has gotten crazy, especially since everybody's running this new defense, because EA ended up patching this thing in the game where before, if you came out in field goal block and audible, the CPU always ran for verts. They patched that so it didn't happen as much, and then this new patch reversed that patch, so all of a sudden you can come out and get the CPU to throw picks every single drive, and I'll show you guys how that's possible. Now this comes courtesy of my man BLL. His name's Bob or Bob Blob, I can't say it. It's a tongue twister, but he ended up putting me onto this, I want to say a couple of weeks ago, but I had not tried it until recently. And you guys probably seen Gutfox's video about this as well, how to glitch out the CPU. And so what ends up happening is you come out in field goal block, load block, and then you audible over the pump block. Audibling is pretty easy. You press square and then you press this is left on the D-pad, and it gives you pump block man safe. And once the CPU audibles, you audible as well. And what ends up happening is you got a user the defensive end, or you can sub in a linebacker at that spot and just watch the flat route. You watch the flat route, CPU typically will either scramble out of the pocket, which is an easy sack for you, or they throw the ball down the field for a pick every single time. It's amazing that this is back in the game right now, because it's allowing guys that didn't have any defense to stop the CPU to place higher now. So if you guys are struggling to get stops in solo battles, this works, I would say, like 90% of the time. It's certain plays where it's like really weird, like certain teams will have different audible formations about their go-tos, and then sometimes that can kind of mess you over. And then some teams don't really audible right away, so you got to figure. I don't know really how to perfect this method on defense. I know how to use it, but I don't know, like, I'm still trying to learn when's the best time to use it. I do know don't use it in the fourth quarter, because it will get you screwed over. And I think you should probably only use it every other play, because whenever I use it like back-to-back plays, they never actually audible. You know what I'm saying? Like, they usually just go back out, throw the ball down the field as a touchdown. So what I end up typically doing is if I don't get the pick the first play, I get a sack, I come out in my regular defense, pinch buck O or mid blitz, and then I switch back to that field goal block, and then hopefully get a pick that next play. And that's what's boosting a lot of people's user scores, the fact they're getting a bunch of picks and a bunch of sacks. Because if they throw the ball down the field, you can click on, hold triangle, and it's gonna be a pick 9 times out of 10. There's occasionally sometimes where you get mossed because Madden, it's funny like that, but it should be a pick the majority of the times. And then if they don't throw the ball, you have a user beeline towards the quarterback for an easy sack, or hopefully one of your defensive ends has the speed enough to contain guys like Michael Vick or whoever the guy's quarterback might be. So it's a really fun defense to use right now, but once they do patch it again, my guess is it's gonna go back to having to be like one of those man blitzing things that can actually get sacks, not as many picks. But that is how guys got a ton of picks. So that defense works well for solo battle blitz, for sacks, for interceptions, and then everything else I'll give you guys right now should work very well for actually scoring high. So you combine the defense, you combine the rushing play, as well as go back and watch the first video. I'll give you guys the cliff notes if you guys are not trying to do that right now. I know a lot of you guys are probably, I don't want to go watch that. All right. First video, basically the gist of it was get a bunch of completions, and get those completions at the 2-minute warning in the second quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, the entire game is get completion. Everything else before that should be trying to score as fast as possible and get as many stops as possible. Because you get more stops on defense, you get more chances on offense, which means more yards. That means less time the CPU has a ball in their hand to go ahead and cheat you, which means you have more of a chance to get a higher user score, which means you have a higher chance to place in solo battles. It's pretty simple, but watch that first video if you guys don't understand what I'm talking about, and then come back and finish this out. But yo, that is how you go about getting yourself 26K in solo battles. And if you guys perfect this method, man, that's gonna get you like #1, because #1 guy in solo battles, I think last week, as I'm gonna go check real quick, I think #1 guy last week had like 338, which is 26 a game. He had a flawless run. Not really flawless, I guess you could say, because the battle boosted one can get you like 26.4, I think 26.5. So you can actually kind of like slack off one game, but let me go make sure I'm not giving you guys any false information. #1 guy last week had, okay, this guy, Jimmy, you're a monster. He's like 26.2. This guy was 26 even, like not even obviously, but 26. So 26 will get you top 10. So that is all I got for you guys today. Go ahead and get your grind on. Practice makes perfect. And then once you perfect this method, my guess is they'll probably change up and do something different for the next years. Maybe change up the scoring system, but go ahead and get your grind on, guys. Merry Christmas. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this gift that I gave you guys today. If you guys can do me a favor, go and smack a like on the button and share this with people that are struggling in solo battles, so we can go ahead and get people out here placing super high. But yeah, it's been your boy Texas, and I will catch you guys in the next one.
Look, they say money can't buy your happiness, but I swear to God, it's a good down payment. Trying to stuff so many binges in my pocket, you would swear that I was out here trying to drown Franklin. I was bred in the slums, got fed up with crumbs, now you don't play a pound cake. Told me when it was a root of all evil, but I swear to God, I ain't never found safe.